say about Fury? It's 1945. They're pushing their way into Germany. You got Brad Pitt, Shia LaBeouf, he's French, Shane from The Walking Dead, and Michael Pena, and the kid from Perks of Being a Wallflower, who I did not even recognize because he was actually surprisingly good. But basically, it's 1945. They're in Germany. They're trying to make a final push to get to take out the Nazis, and so they lose their assistant driver, which means they have to bring in like a new guy, and they're understaffed. So they bring in the guy from Perks of Being a Wallflower, and he is a typist. He's not supposed to be killing people. His big thing is that he can type 60 words per minute. Not a big deal. So he has no idea what he's doing, shooting people, killing Nazis, all that stuff. And the whole movie is kind of more about this young boy trying to learn how to be a soldier in the end of World War II, being mentored by Brad Pitt, who kind of comes across like a football coach, or a pledge master, or just a real badass. I mean, he is the definition of badass. He is like, how do I put it? It's unlike anything I've ever seen Brad Pitt do. Brad Pitt is always playing this like charming, charismatic type character who thinks that if he just puts on a smile, he can kind of just like get what he wants. This guy has seen some shit. His whole back is burnt up. I guess he was on fire, and he doesn't care. He is so hardened by the war he's seen. He's been to Africa, he's been to Paris, and now he's in Germany killing Nazis. Same to go with the other guys. They're very arrogant, obnoxious, intolerant, and they've seen so much stuff, so much battle, that they don't really have any emotion left. There's even a great scene where I keep calling him Shane. I should look up the guy's name. His name is Shane, isn't it? Shane says to the kid, "Hey, listen, you know, we're bad men, and you're a good man, and I think you should know that." Because they are. They are disgusting, and I mean, you do have that camaraderie of an army team that you see in every movie, like Saving Private Ryan and Band of Brothers and stuff like that, but they're just over the top. Brad Pitt is kind of like that, but he's a little bit old-fashioned. We have a great scene. A lot of people didn't like the scene, but I thought it kind of pulled the movie together in some way. It kind of gives you a little bit of a distraction before going back into the battle, where they've taken over a German town, and they go upstairs, and there's a young girl, and I guess like her aunt, I think they said, yeah, it's her aunt, and it's just the young kid and Brad Pitt, who's like the sergeant of the Fury tank, and you know, they're trying to play house, and he's shaving, and they're making eggs for breakfast, and he takes there's a scene where you think Brad Pitt's gonna rape somebody, the young girl, and you're like, oh, please don't do this, please don't. But luckily it doesn't happen. The young character kind of like plays piano, and they go in the back room, and they're kind of just like flirting, and she's making out with him, so now it's okay, they get it on, and that's fine. But what happens is though is that the rest of the guys, Shia LaBeouf, Shane, Michael Pena, they come up, and they're like, you know, they're all drunk, and they're fucking shit up, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna eat your plate. You married now? You married? And Brad Pitt's got this great line. He's just like, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to fuck up my breakfast, but I ain't gonna let you. And it's great. I can't wait for this to come out on Blu-ray so I can make that into like a meme. Perfect. I don't want to reveal more about that scene. I'm not gonna tell you what the movie's about. You already know from the trailer. You know, 5 guys against 300 guys. The only thing the trailer was a little misleading about is that in the trailer, they're telling you that there's, you know, the tank breaks down, and there's 5 of them against 300 Nazi soldiers coming their way, and they decide they're going to stay and fight. The trailer makes it out to be like they're coming with tanks and artillery and all that stuff. Not true. They're coming, 300 men, granted, 300 men versus them in a tank. I mean, yeah, there's only 5 of them, but they're in a tank. They're not gonna... I'd rather... Well, I mean, I don't know. That's not true. Let's put it this way. It's a pretty evenly matched fight, which I did not expect. The fact that you're saying there's 5 guys versus 300, I kind of assumed it was going to end like 300. Haha, not true. To say that the 5 guys were going to die and the 300 guys were going to kill them all and they were going to be victorious against them, not entirely true at all. It's very, I was kind of surprised and delighted by the way it ended. Do some of them die? Come on, don't be an idiot. Obviously some of them are going to die. All in all, I'd say this is like an A, not an A+, but I'd give this movie an A. You know why I don't give it an A? An A+ is because little things, like, the character who plays Shane. I don't know what the hell he's saying. I don't know what he's talking about. The majority of it. Shia LaBeouf does it too, or Shia LaBeouf. He does it too. Or there would be a scene where like they're talking, and I know they're from like Middle America, like Louisiana or some bullshit like that, but they're talking, and he's just like, I ain't no animal. Wait, what? What? And Shia LaBeouf does it a little bit, but Shane, what are you talking about? I mean, I know he's like Brad Pitt says, he's like, well, you talk like a dog, you talk like an animal, so I'm gonna treat you like that. I'm gonna kick you. And okay, but I'd like to know what they were talking about. Granted, I'm buying this Blu-ray, and when I get to that scene, whenever Shane talks, I'm gonna hit the subtitles, because fudge pudding. It's like that. It's like that. The director is David Ayer. I'm gonna look that up. I don't want to say it wrong. Shut up. David Ayer, I didn't expect him to make a good film because the last couple of films that he made were not so great. I mean, he made Harsh Times with Christian Bale, and then he made Street Kings with Keanu Reeves. He made End of Watch, which was a pretty good movie, but then he made Sabotage with Arnold, and it was just god-awful, and so when you see that, it makes you think like, well, unless you're making an End of Watch movie again, which is what he did. He took End of Watch, and he made a better film. He made Saving Private Ryan and Band of Brothers and every other type of army film that you've seen, but he made it original in some odd kind of way. It wasn't overly redundant. You didn't feel like, okay, they're just taking the same old scenes from every army movie and putting it into this one. I was interested. I was like, well, what's going to happen next? I did not, the whole scene with them at the kitchen table was kind of like, I had no idea what was going on. I'm like, is he going to kill and rape them? Is he going to, what's going on? Luckily he didn't. Don't worry. Don't think I'm not seeing this movie because there's a rape scene. There's no rape scene. It just, there's a good chunk of time when you're like, they're going to rape him. Not true. Brad Pitt just wants to have some eggs. He enjoys breakfast. He misses the old life, even though he won't admit it. And he enjoys a good shave. I need a shave. Oh, just to give credit to credit due, Shane's real name is John Bernthal. John Bernthal. And the name of the kid from Perks of Being a Wallflower is Logan. Lerman plays Norman. And he was astounding. I wouldn't give him an Oscar. I would give Brad Pitt an Oscar nomination. Just a nod. Just be like, hey man, just go keep making movies where you're not playing Brad Pitt. Go make movies where you're playing different characters. I kind of got the feeling that when they were making this movie, Brad Pitt was like told by his agent or somebody who was like, oh, you know, Inglourious Bastards, you know, Aldo Raines was really good. I enjoyed that movie, you know, Inglourious Bastards. But you know, it would have been better if you were playing that character and you just took out all the bullshit. You know, like when they kill Hitler and all that. And this is what this movie delivers on. It's basically Aldo Raines being more serious in a reality of World War II, kicking ass, taking names, and he's just such a badass, man. I don't know how to put it. He's Brad Pitt, but he's a badass. Kind of like Troy. Remember Troy? He was kind of like this like quiet, ass-kicking badass, only with less of an ego. Yeah, that's about it. Oh, by the way, for fans of True Blood, Jim Perrick, I think his name is, the guy who played, oh boy, what the hell's his name?
Hoi!
Yes, thank you. He's also in this movie, and, you know, he's got a small bit part. I think he shows up. I think he dies. I don't know. He either dies or he shows up and goes away. I couldn't tell you. He's in about for like 5 minutes, and then he's out of there. Jason Isaacs, who was the bad guy from The Patriot, he's in this, playing kind of like the same character, only not evil. He's the guy who tells Brad Pitt, he's like, we have to move in over here because we need you to come over there. You're the last line of defense. And he was pretty good. The cast was pretty good. The script was really good. The directing was astounding. The sound in this movie, amazing. I really enjoyed that. I've seen a lot of horror movies in theaters, but this one really divided it up. Like the explosions and the gunfire and all that. I was kind of like, wow, this is. I feel like I'm kind of in the room. All right, right on. All in all, guys, I give this movie an A. The only reason I don't give it an A+ is because I can't understand what the hell Shane is saying in some points.
Big paradise. Everyone else came up, snake eyes, but us.
And I guess it was mildly predictable in some ways, but amazingly not in others. It's got, the best way I could put it is that there's probably like 8 really good scenes throughout the 52 scenes of this movie. And they're kind of layered very nicely. So don't get me wrong, it's a great movie, and that's why I'm giving it an A. But it's not quite an A+. Anyway, guys, what did you think of the film? Did you think it ended the way you thought it was going to end, or did you think it was going to end a little bit differently? I was pleasantly surprised, so I'd love to get your input about it. Subscribe, leave your comments, and until next time, thanks for watching.